All right, there we go. All right, we're hot. There we go. Now we're back. We're better. Oh, boy, what? Issues?
Just do your phone.
Right, I'm sharing it out. So let people come up in here. There's nobody even here yet. We're talking about, well, I guess it doesn't really matter who else wants to sit and listen to us talk, right? Anyway, how you doing, everybody? I'm Wayne Campbell. This is the driver side. Look, real drivers. Look, real talk. Look,
You don't even know the point.
I know. This is my first time. Really, bro? I'm already. All right, here we go. We got people. Well, we couldn't leave the truck stop. Well, we're late because we couldn't leave the truck stop because we had to wait for somebody to park next to his truck because he can't leave the truck stop without somebody being parked next to it.
That's right.
Because he's afraid that pretty hood will get taken out. Well, he at least wants to know who took it out.
Well, we said, hey, I'll come over and park by you so nobody else has to.
We did. He was from, where was he from?
Illinois.
Illinois. He's got a big show cut. He does the
Rantoul.
What is it?
The Rantoul
Truck Show in Illinois.
Yeah.
Right. He says it's going to be a good one this year.
Yeah, he's taking it over.
Well, hopefully, yeah, he's taking it over. I guess somebody passed away or something.
I didn't hear what happened.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said. But
anyway. Got that guy that passed away from Indiana, Rob, here.
Wait,
wasn't he part of Chi-Town? That funeral you went to, was he? That funeral you went to here a while back, I can't remember the guy's name.
Lloyd.
Was he part of Rantoul?
No.
Oh, okay.
He went to Rantoul, but he wasn't.
All right. Everybody, I'm Wayne Campbell. This is Driver's Side, Real Drivers, Real Talk. Everybody knows Rob Hallahan. He's my man Rob. He's been here many times. But I'd like to introduce everybody to John Herdrich. John, did I say it right?
Herdrich? Yeah, you said it right. You're getting better at it.
These are the people we're going to be podcasting. We're going to be podcasting. We're going to start a new show. Come after Matt's. Me and Rob, we're going to go up to Matt's, and we got a lot to do up there. It's going to be a good time. We're actually going to broadcast through this platform, so we'll be able to bring John. John, we're going to bring you to Matt's with us.
Okay. Hey, works for me.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But before we jump into anything tonight, we really just wanted to try this new platform to see how it's working, to see if we can bring you in and stuff like that. But also, remember, we are on Instagram at the Driver's Side 19. We're on YouTube. We have launched our YouTube channel, the Driver's Side 19, and TikTok, the Driver's Side 19. It's a lot to keep up with.
Easy.
Easy? Yeah, okay.
Driver's Side 19.
Driver's Side 19, right. But here on Facebook, it's just the Driver's Side. So, but anyway, let me say hello to a few people real quick. Jonathan, Michael, Paul, Jeremy Harless. Look at that. Anton, Tim McDermott. It's good to see all you guys. I'm glad you guys are all here. But I guess we'll how was your ride out? What'd you do? What'd you haul out here? You're back in Vegas. Why are you back in Vegas?
I brought swamp cooler pads.
Swamp cooler pad? Where'd you deliver to?
The National Swamp Cooler.
Was it good? Was it cool?
No, it was. I loaded my hand in the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why it took 3 hours.
But anyway, all right, guys, remember to like and share in your groups. But I wanted to, John, you have your own company, don't you?
Yeah. Yes.
Introduce yourself, John. No one. You haven't been on the show before. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're going to be working together. But introduce yourself. To, give us a little background of who you are. I already know who you
are. I own Herdrich Express Lines. We run 3 of our own trucks and 2 owner-operators as of right now. We also have a brokerage that we run some trucks through during our busy season with my customer. I've been in the industry, been around it my whole life. Been driving over the road since 1996. Did local stuff in the state from 18 till 21. So, I mean, I've been in it a minute.
Where are you at now?
At home in Portage, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Where did you used to live here in Henderson, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up in Henderson. Well, you would know it. I always just say Henderson because we had a Henderson address, but I lived in Pittman most of my life.
Okay. So, if anybody don't know, Henderson's the neighboring city, and we got Henderson, North. Ron actually is connected to Vegas, which is pretty cool. Here's a question for you, John. Don't you know Rob? Don't you?
Yeah, I know Showtime.
Why does he call you Showtime, though?
I have no idea why he would call me that.
Now, come on. Think about it, Rob. Think about it.
Why does he call him Showtime?
I've been to a few truck shows.
Because he's got truck shows and he's got, sharp looking rides and, he represents himself very well.
Well, look at his shirt, John.
Does it say Hallahan on it tonight?
Large cars.
Yeah. Oh, Chi-Town large cars. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he was out there talking large cars tonight out of the truck stop. Oh, yeah. So a couple nice trucks out there. This guy was out there from Illinois. He had a really nice Pete. So John, you got a few trucks now, right?
Right. Yeah, I've got 3 of my own. I've got 2 Peterbilts and 2013 660 Kenworth, a 2019 Peterbilt 389, and then I just bought a 2020 579 with a Packard motor, Packard drivetrain, the 12-speed automatic. Yeah, and we run reefers.
That's a mouthful.
We run Texas every week, and we run the Northeast every week. We have trucks out Lewiston, Maine, Massachusetts every week.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you this question. I know Rob's answer this. Do you guys have your drivers have trouble parking anywhere out that way?
Sometimes they do. The one guy that runs out there religiously, I don't hear him say much about it, but he's been running that lane for 6 years. So he's got little nooks and crannies he kinds of hides in. Now, if I have somebody else do the run, yeah, they'll say parking gets tight. And there's times we have to, do the reserve spot thing with TA or Pilot or Flying J.
Have you ever had anybody shot?
Have you man, yeah, anybody get shot? And that's why I brought it up, John. And I think, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Anybody that's been in this industry for a while, like, Rob was saying, Rob posted in the group the other day, the article about the security guard being shot and stuff like that. And then we turn around and the security guard actually has taken his own life. Yeah.
The security guard's the one that shot the driver, correct?
Correct. Yes. So, and he's taken his own life. Did you know that?
Yeah, I actually seen something. I didn't get a chance to read the article. I seen, just a quick post about it. Security guard that shot driver took his own life.
What'd you hear, Rob? What'd you read?
I read that. The whole story?
Yeah. What would you? Yeah.
I read that the driver had to take his 30-minute break, and he pulled into the reserve parking because it was better to park on the fuel island. And the security guard came over and started cutting his airlines. That's mine.
What?
I guess they got into an argument, and the security guard tried cutting his airlines, and that's where the scuffle broke up because he was protecting his truck, and then the security guard shot him. That's what I heard.
I heard something similar onto the lines of that, and I mean, the guy was just there.
Now we only got one story because the security guard took his own life. So,
right.
Here's why I bring it up. Both sides. My thoughts and prayers are with both sides.
Right.
My issue is this parking issue has been long overdue. A problem that's been long overdue. There needs to be a resolution. It's long overdue for a resolution to this parking problem. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is the heartbeat of it. This is our backbone of our country, and these men and women are having issues parking. And now we got trucks, plaza center or travel plazas because they're no longer truck stops. They've weaved them in and they've made them travel centers. But now that they charge for parking, and these drivers, these unprofessionals come in and they take these spots. And I understand it. I've done it myself. I'm parking here. I'm tired. I need to get to sleep. And I didn't want to hurt nobody. I just want to get to sleep. I moved that thing and I climb myself in the bunk. But this gentleman wasn't doing that.
No, he took a reserve spot because it was a safe place to get out of the way.
For a 30-minute break, he was actually being respectful to other drivers.
I'm actually curious how many reserve spots were empty. Was there 15 of them? Because some of these places you go to, there's 50 reserve spots and 35 of them are empty, and they're not even sold. So if
Right.
that's the case, then was it really worth shooting somebody over?
No, it wasn't. Prime
I mean,
example.
we're shooting somebody over a parking spot, but you get my point though. There was probably 20 empty ones right there in the reserved area.
Oh, probably so. Probably so. I mean, Effingham, Illinois is famous for that. I'm sure you've seen it, Rob, where half of the parking lot in Effingham at the Petro is reserved parking.
Yeah,
They're
and I
paying
know
for that. I mean,
all the time down there and don't pay for it.
yeah.
Right,
I
I
mean,
pull in the driveway, I pull in and back right up, and it's a reserved spot. I've never ever paid for it. All I do is set my bottle of water up in the window because that's all they're looking for is a receipt and a bottle of water. So I just take a receipt, turn it around backwards, put the bottle of water there, and I go to bed.
There it is. There it is. It's not that difficult.
We're not going to give bottles of water out anymore, so I guess we're out that $15, $18 bottle of water.
yeah. I mean, the other day, my last trip when I ran, I was delivering Morris, Illinois, and I parked right there at that TA. And I took a reserve spot, and it'd been a while since I had been out running the truck. I mean, Rob, you said it best yesterday. You're at home most of the time anyway. Do you remember what the road looks like? Morris, Illinois, the last time I paid to park, it was $15. Morris, Illinois now is $18 to park.
Well, and I think they go up during the night. Don't they start out at like $14 early in the day? And then as it gets closer and closer to midnight, they get up to $18, $19.
Wait, time out. They pull Vegas.
I don't know.
Wait, so they do what they do in Vegas. So here in Vegas, it happened to Rob last time he was here. So he was waiting for me, and I walked up, and I was running late. And he's like, "Yeah, I was paying $5 waiver, and they bumped it up to $10, and they kicked them off the table." So what happens in Vegas after a certain hour? So as the night goes on and people start getting and more, as it gets crowded, they start
as it gets more and more crowded.
Right. Well, this was that new
price.
You're in Vegas, bro. Here's we can talk about the prices and all that. First of all, truck drivers shouldn't be charged to park anywhere. Second of all, they shouldn't have an issue parking at all, let alone having to pay for it.
No, let me stop you on that right there, because there's one place I don't mind to pay to park, and Rob will probably agree with this too. Wildwood, Florida, I-75 Chrome Shop. They did it because, well, you got a pilot right next door, a TA across the road, and people that weren't patronizing the Chrome Shop would go over there and park, and they throw pee bottles out in the parking lot or dump their trash in the parking lot, and it was starting to look like an eyesore. As soon as they put that gate up and started making guys having to pay to park, that went away. You can always find a spot at Wildwood now.
Yeah,
and they charge the first 2 hours is free, and then after that it's a maximum charge, I think, of $12. So really, if you're there for 24 hours, it's costing you 50 cents an hour to park. Big deal. The way I look at that with Wildwood, it's getting rid of some of the riffraff that's not being professional.
Well, I'll say this: I have to say, Morton's actually it's a pretty good truck stop. The far back row it's kind of hard to keep, because it's just rough. That neighborhood's rough back there, but it's pretty well kept, and they roam around that place all the time, and they'll run you off.
Well, yeah, I got something to say about Wildwood since you brought up Wildwood, because it's one of my favorite places to go, and I know I know a lot of people down there and everything.
Right.
So, but it's $1. It's $1 an hour.
There you go, Rob. Yeah.
With a maximum of $12. But all you got to do is get up in the morning, walk inside and buy a T-shirt or buy a bottle of polish, or, just what you got to do is buy something there, and they'll give you a coupon that you go out and punch your number into the machine, and it gets you out the gate.
Yeah, correct. Because I've done that, walked in and bought something, and the guy says, "Are you here for the night?" Yeah, well, here, put this in when you go to leave. You're parking free. And, I might have shower credits at a TA, But even though I'm right there at Wildwood, I won't walk across the street, Rob. I pay $15 to take a shower at the Chrome Shop because I know the shower's clean.
Right. No, it's a good place to park. You know, I myself, I don't mind reserve parking.
I don't either.
I use it quite a bit. I use the apps on my phone because I can watch the TA Petro app and I can see how many parking spots are left in reserved. And if they have 55 parking spots and 40 are still left, then I know there's other parking spots there. It's
Right.
when you get down to 5 and 6 reserve spots left, now you know you better reserve a spot. So if you're smart about it, you can figure out whether there's going to be spots when you get there. And chances are, you know, there's going to be. But if I have to park in a reserve spot, I don't care. Because I'm going to pull in there. I'm going to park in their parking spot, pay the $18. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to leave, and I'm not going to buy a T-shirt from them.
Right.
But here's the thing, and let's go back to why I brought it up. You think anybody's going to get shot at Wildwood?
Not in that parking lot, no. I mean,
Not in that parking lot. Maybe in the pilot or across the street.
Right, but not in that parking lot is my point. Right. Respected area.
Yes, it is.
Why? Because it's professionalized.
Well,
it's got professionalism reeking out of it.
If you ever go to Wildwood, you'll know it's like a resort. I mean,
right.
They mop the sidewalks outside.
It's done right. But it's targeted for the professional driver.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, you're not going to buy a shirt at TA or do anything like that because, well, you did it just so you didn't have to deal with the riprap. You got that spot, you got in, you got out. Wildwood, you're going to kick it. You're going to take your time. You're going to check out. You've got stuff to look at. It appeals to the professional driver.
Right.
So it's worth paying the money. It's like going to Magic Mountain.
They did the paid parking to get the riffraff out.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That
it's
was
out
my whole point.
any time of the night and find a parking spot.
But see, but there's two sides of this coin, and that's what I'm trying to say is the fact that somebody died over a parking spot within this industry is not okay.
No,
It took his own life. Somebody got shot,
And this isn't the first time it's happened. This isn't the first time. I think this is the third or fourth time in the last year. Guys get in an argument over a parking spot and they want to shoot each other or beat the piss out of each other with a ball bat.
Right.
Well,
this time it's a security.
Hold on now. I've been threatened by other drivers many times at the fuel line. I'm going to get my face beat in. Because look, people get stabbed at the fuel island.
Well,
The fuel island is just as bad. That's just not okay. The fuel island is a joke. It's a joke. But it doesn't happen at Morton's. Because why? They run it like professionals. They do.
Right.
These trucks, these travel plazas, and all that are mainstream and that cater to the mainstream of trucking. People coming into trucking and that don't know about Wildwood and why it's like that and why things are the way they are today in this industry. Well, right? I mean, am I going off? Point being is the TAs and all that, they just are there to gouge the driver, make money off the driver, get him in, get him out, and they don't care about the quality of service that they provide.
Right. Now, I will say there is one TA, and that is exit 578 off of I-20. It's outside of Dallas. There's a Flying J and a Pilot and all that right there. That TA, they'll tell you, they'll charge you $15 to park, but if you go in the store and you spend $15, show them your receipt, they'll let you, you basically got your reserved spot for nothing.
Well, Atlanta's the same way. You got to
Is
pay
Atlanta not? Yeah, okay.
spend money inside. Ontario's the same way.
Yeah,
California, but they have reserve spots there. And if you want a reserve spot, you have to pay the gate fee and the reserve spot. Paying the reserve spot doesn't go towards your $25.
Oh, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, if you want a reserve spot, you're going to end up spending $45 for a reserve spot.
Yeah.
I think
that one in Dallas, the way it works, if you buy a reserve spot, then they don't charge you the $15 to park. They just charge you for the reserved spot.
Okay. Right. In the
But
end,
it still doesn't keep the riffraff out because they walk through the man gate and they're trying to sell you gold chains and watches and, hey man, these DVD players just fell off the back of the truck. You want to buy one? No, I'm good, thanks.
fell off a truck.
Yeah.
That's an old saying from back in the day. My dad used to say that. I don't know, honey. It fell off the back of a truck. He'd tell my mom. We're in the studios. Things would fall off the truck all the time. All right. So in the end, parking is an issue that needs to still be addressed in this industry.
Yes.
Are we right here?
That's
yes.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that a driver was shot for trying to take his 30-minute break in a professional manner is an actual joke. I'm going to try to reach out to this guy. I know he's reachable. I want to say there's something going around. I'm going to see what I can do to reach out
to the hospital. Now.
Right. Maybe we can get him on the show. Maybe we can tap him in like that.
Yeah.
We're tapping in. I mean, we're just practicing tonight. We're just getting ready for this podcast to launch everything because we got other drivers coming in too. But in the end, parking is an issue. Like no, and it's been an issue for a long time, and it breaks my heart to see it, especially the East Coast. So, but let's see what some of these people say. All right, Jeremy Hurlis, they upcharge everything. Right, it's crazy. You can get off an exit, and there will be Love's Fuel at $2.89. Then across the street, Mom and Pop at $2.52. Right. Well, we know that.
And the big chains say they don't make money on fuel. They're lying.
Oh, please. In the end, travel plazas are no longer for professional drivers. They're targeted.
You said the magic word, travel plaza. It's not a truck stop. It's a travel plaza. We want Jim, Bob, and Carol to stop with their 10 little youngsters and grab some Taco Bell and go, ooh, look, that's cool. And we'll spend $40 in your convenience store after we get our Taco Bell. It's not designed around a driver anymore.
Well, you're talking about the upcharges, they're upcharging the truck drivers, but they're not upcharging the regular patron for, like gas station side that's just for a pop or Taco Bell. But an example, I just stopped the other night because I forgot my soap, and I got a bar of soap, which would have been about $1, at Walmart for a bar of soap. It cost me $6.50 at a truck stop.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's stupid. $6.50 for a bar of soap.
Well, they actually, and the pilots and the Flying Jays, they try to choke out the mom and pop Triple T. When I was at Triple T not too long ago, we were talking to them, and the reason why they actually charge for parking is because picking up the piss bottles and all
I understand that. I totally understand that.
On the other side of that was you guys see the truck wash. It's all closed. All that's closed for reasons because their tanks used to be grandfathered in. There's regulations that are supposed to be followed, and when Pilot came in across the street, they said no, they have to do it the way we have to do it. But it would have cost us a ton of money. So they're removing the tanks. It costs like $200,000 to remove the tank. They're actually doing it.
But you know what? I mean, I'm going to go back to like the garbage and stuff because, like, I used to take my dog with me all the time on the road.
Oh,
and I would take my dog out after we'd be on the road for a little bit, get out and go back behind the trucks and walk. And I had to be careful where I walked my dog because of all the garbage and glass and tires and old food. And my dog tried to eat anything that he would get a hold of for food. And there's just, all these Hardee's bags with half-eaten sandwiches in there. So, they got to pay somebody to go back and clean all that crap up. If these guys would quit throwing out their junk and their garbage, maybe they wouldn't have to charge for parking. I don't know.
There's two sides.
There's truck driver that's pissed off side of it because of paid parking. And then there's a truck stop that's pissed off of picking up all the garbage and stuff. But then you got the truck stops that don't empty their garbage cans, and they're overfilling, laying around the sides of it. The wind's blowing and blowing the trash against the fence. So, who's really to blame?
And then you got states closing down rest areas to force people into these areas. Okay, because let's not talk. it goes deeper because I was talking to John the other day and he was with his brother. And, my wife, thank you to my wife for all the hard work she puts in because she helps me educate myself better. She does research like you wouldn't believe. And when she started digging into the parking and the rest areas that are closing and states not budgeting for it, well, it all led back to those frontage roads with all those big corporations that are now travel plazas. Well, they figure they can close those down and they funnel them right into those frontage roads because, well, those big corporations pay big state taxes and all that stuff. And, well, over there in the rest areas, you can't open up a business. You can have vending machines, and that's it because it's a federal law. There's a lot that's tied into that, but in the end, it's a joke.
Yeah, but there's also supposed to be, what's it called? Johnny's Law or Michael's Law or something like that?
Jason's Law. Jason's Law.
Jason's Law.
Jason's Law, right. And that was supposed to come out to make more parking spots, but it's actually gotten less.
Yes.
The parking's not okay, and I only brought it up just to touch on the fact that unfortunately someone's taken their life and someone else almost lost their life, and the truck driver, my prayers go to both families. It really does because we'll never know the truth because that gentleman took his life, and there's probably a lot more tied to that. But in the end, trucking, it's this industry is just full of so much toxicity.
How, that security guard shot that driver. Now they gave that security guard a gun.
And it was a closed security guard. He didn't have a uniform on. So he could have been anybody walking up and arguing.
Right. Yes. He should have had a security uniform on. I mean, look at some of the places we go, Rob, and they have security guards and they're wearing a uniform and they don't get to carry a gun.
Right.
They can run their mouth all they want, but they can't carry a gun.
Yeah,
there's reasons for that because they don't. Most of these people that they hire for that are pissed off because they couldn't make the academy and to be a real cop. So now you give them a gun and they think they're really badass. Oh, I'm just going to shoot this truck driver. It don't matter. Because he took his own life, right?
You got these people. You're right, but unfortunately, the guy's gone, and we won't know that side. We just won't know it. But I understand what John's saying. He's right because there's a lot of people that abuse that situation. That think, they since they carry a flashlight that they can see you, that they have rights over you. They know. But John, how do you feel about today's trucking?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
There's some changes that I think have been for the good, but a lot for the bad. A lot of people, I think, too many of them look at this industry as it's just a job. It's not a lifestyle. Where I come from, it's a lifestyle. I'm fourth generation. I'm very disappointed, honestly, in our industry. And drivers that they have no self-respect for themselves or the company that they work for. They don't carry themselves in a manner that they get mad, they don't get respect. Well, they don't carry themselves in a way to where they earn the respect. They want to walk around in sweatpants and flip-flops and look like slobs. Why do they think they need respect? If they have no respect for themselves, why should anybody else respect them? I remember when I was a kid riding with my dad. When I left with Dad, you had your shirts on hangers, you had your pants on hangers, and you were dressed decent. You had a collared shirt on, you had a nice pair of pants on, and you looked presentable. And people looked up to you. Now, hey, I'm a driver. I might, depending on what the truck looks like on the side of the road, I might holler at a guy and say, hey, driver, you need help. 9 times out of 10, you ain't going to get an answer. But a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to stop because who's to say that guy ain't going to pull out a gun and shoot me for just trying to stop and say, hey, man, do you need some help?
Well, there's actually setups like that nowadays. So
yeah,
there's actually setups like that nowadays. The lack of trust and human decency is gone. It is. But and I'm going to say this, okay, because to the new driver coming in and that's living in that truck and that's living off that $100 a month and that's not or whatever or whoever just they ride with flip flops on or stuff like that. You know what? If you want to do that's fine. But when you show up to a shipper or you show up to a receiver, you should at least represent yourself correctly or represent the name that's on your door. And that's what bothers me, John. Is I had to look at it and say, okay, well, my kids and this and that. Oh God, they live in the trucks. Okay, you want to wear flip flops? That's fine in your truck. That's fine. You want to go to the
right?
truck?
Hey, I told you this the other day, Wayne. When I get in the truck and I go trucking, and I know I'm going to be trucking late at night, I've got what they call clown pants. I call them clown pants. They're them flannel pants. I call them clown pants. They're lounging pants. I don't get out of the truck in those. Before I get out of that truck, I put my pants back on.
They're pajamas.
I just drive naked.
He drives naked. He ain't got no pants.
Hey, that's what works. Hey, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you, man.
In the end, though, and I think me, I'm all about training. Training in this industry, that's the one disappointment I have in this industry because, with training comes a work ethic, and you learn a work ethic within your training. And the way I was taught, that's just the way I was. But
sure, they don't. They're not going to teach any of that. They're what all these schools are for is to provide meat in the seat for the big megas. You might get one or two out of a class of 100 that'll make a career out of it, become a professional, and represent themselves in a proper way that people will look at them and give them respect. But if they don't respect themselves, nobody else should respect them either.
But right there, John, you touched on something. You said it. And that is a true statistic. I've watched it. I've seen it, and I know it for a fact because when I fell on my face and had to go through Omega, and I watched that class and I watched how it went down, it was absolutely mind-boggling. It was like, wow. They shuttle them all in. They rush them through this course, and then it was 100 people. It was 100. It was 105 actually, and only by the second day, half were gone. You lied on your application, you were gone. But what they did with those was completely wrong. They just tossed them out on the street. That's not okay. You bring somebody hundreds of miles away from home, and then and it didn't work out. Well, you provide them to get back home. I don't care what the situation is.
Give them a Greyhound ticket back home.
It happened to us, right?
All right, hold on. And then on the other half, no one could just comprehend. They just couldn't pick it up. They did it to themselves. They overthought, they overdid everything. And then in the end, it was 15. It was 15 that actually got their CDL, but in the end, only 2 made a career out of it.
And I will say, some of the big megas, some decent guys will come out of it. And Rob's heard me say this a million times. I've got a driver that applied with me 4 times. Every time I looked at his application, I just could not get past that big mega word of CR England. And he had emailed me again, and my wife says, what's it going to hurt to meet the guy? Just because it says that on his application doesn't mean he's a bad driver or whatnot. That guy's been with me almost 7 years. One of the best drivers I've ever had. And he's a rare duck, believe me. Don't ask him to go south. Don't send him to Florida. Don't send him to Texas. Don't send him to Georgia. Send him to New England every week. That's where he's happy. And that says a lot about the guy. Because that's the neighborhood he likes to run. He knows all of his little niches, but he's one of them drivers. He likes his job. He likes to work and just does it with ease. He'd rather just run where he's comfortable.
Well, hey, and I get that because when I ran the oil field and I ran 287 from Cleveland to Pleasanton, basically Fort Worth to San Antonio every day. I knew the deers, I knew the cows, I knew the bunnies, I knew all that. But it was like going on tour every day. It's like you hit your little stop, you know, hey, wait, and you start talking, and they're there every day. You get to know these people,
Yep.
and you do this little tour.
Yeah, and he knows all of our customers out there. He's got all of his little niches where he likes to park, you know, so he's in his routine. It's no different. I can take a load and go out that way, and I'm completely lost. I'll have to call him and say, hey, what about this person with this person, or where's the best place for me to be to park? Now send me to New Orleans with a load. I can tell you where every good place is to eat. I can tell you where all the chrome shops are on the way there. And I'm in my own element. I'm comfortable.
Chrome. I swear, you guys in your chrome. I mean, this guy's truck, and God, he's backing it in today. Wow. He hit that corner, and that he came out from the beacon, and that sun hit that trailer. Like, oh God!
I got something to say about what you were saying about they had 105 people, and then 50 of them lied on their application, and they just kicked them to the curb.
Yeah.
Well, if they lied on their application, then why did they deserve any more than that?
I get that.
I had a guy one time, and John knows about this. He applied with me, and I brought him to La Crosse. He was an owner-operator, drove, on his own dime all the way to La Crosse. And I walked outside and I looked at his truck, and I'm like, you got fuel leaking out of this tank. You got this wrong with your steering. You got air leaking out of your drives. I found like 15 different things wrong with this truck. And I'm like, go into Freightliner, tell him you need an inspection done and get everything fixed. He's like, I don't have any money. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any money? He's like, I got like $50 in my checking account. I'm like, okay, here's what we do. And I handed him $500, and I said, you need to go home and you need to take that truck back where you got it. He didn't lie to me, so I was fair with him. I gave him all the money for the driving out and driving back, but I couldn't hire him because of his truck.
And that's where the driver shortage comes into play. It's quality driver shortage in a sense. But
your shortage, there's your shortage. It's for quality drivers. It's not for just meat in the seat.
Yeah, hold on. And when I say quality driver, there's a standard that goes there. There's a package in that quality driver. It's not just how he drives that truck safely, how he does that. It's how he carries himself. It's all the way around, from professionalism all the way down to knowing your customers and everything. Because for you to find a good driver, today's industry, it's how I'm going to ask you. I'll ask both of you. I'll ask Rob first. How hard is it to find a good driver?
Very, very hard.
What are you risking?
You're risking everything. You're risking your business, your company. You're risking your MC number. If you can hire one bad egg that can come in and destroy it for you all, and you're right back to being a lease operator again. And we've got friends that have had it happen before.
I know, and that's why you see all these companies closing, and you see everything happening. People say it's regulations, people say it's this. There's a combination of things that can kill a company, but a thing that can really kill a company is bad drivers.
Well, for one thing, when you're a small company, your safety record is going to matter on how your rates are, how you're treated by brokers, how you're treated by customers, and whether the FMCSA is going to even allow you to go on for another year without deactivating your number. And you get one guy who doesn't take care of his truck or fails to do a pre-trip inspection, and you get 9 violations in one pre-trip, your safety score just went into unsatisfactory mode, and you lost all your customers because you only own a couple trucks. Now, if you had 100 trucks and that happened, it's no big deal if one guy does that.
Go ahead, John.
It's Rob. I mean, Rob couldn't have said any better. That's where these guys don't understand. I just the other night when we were all talking, and I had to let you guys go because I had that owner operator at the house. I had to take him to pick his truck up. He was not understanding the last time he got stopped. Well, I had the mechanic come fix that. It shouldn't have went against the safety record. No, it did go against the safety record, and it was, I forget how many point violation. And I looked at him and I said, "Bud, this is it. Anything else happens after this, I'm sorry. If you can't you know, you can't take care of your equipment the way you need to take care of your equipment. I'll let you have this one, but the next time you get a violation, I don't care what kind of violation it is, you're done. Because I'm not going to risk everything I have because you wanted to be negligent.
Right. Well, see, and what I do is I pay
And
my
the guy that's got an older truck that can run paper. When he got popped because he hadn't touched his logbook in 2 days.
No.
Oh, geez.
And I said, what is the reason for that? Well, the snow and no, there's no excuse for that. No excuse. Don't tell me you didn't have time. You had time. Well, I was tired. I don't want to hear you were tired. Now guess what you get to do? Oh, you're going on the babysitter. You're going on the babysitter. Because he's one of them guys that he runs the same lane every week, basically, okay? He's got to stop at every TA he comes to because he's got a girlfriend at every one. You know, he thinks he's God's gift to women. Well, he ain't God's gift to women no more. If he ain't got time to stop.
Go ahead.
What I do is I pay my drivers $100 for a full inspection and $50 for a paperwork check. Now, I've talked to a couple other people about this, and they said, well, what you really should do is with your owner operators, give them the $100 for a full inspection, $50 for a paperwork check. But if they get a violation, they owe you $100.
Oh, hey.
That's a good idea.
I think it's only fair.
I haven't done it yet, but I've talked to a couple of other carriers who said it works well for them because that gives them the incentive to look their truck over twice instead of once. You know, they're looking over once because they want to get that $100 from you. Now they're looking over it twice because they don't want to have to owe you $100.
Right. And that is a good idea. I think, you know, well, I've got, you know, this, Rob, I'm mentoring a young kid now. He's 24 years old. And every week, you know, he's got little things he's got to get done to his truck. So we knock out some of his stuff every week because he's just getting started. And we're taking care of that stuff. The other day, yesterday, he says, I got my paperwork and I need to go to Fleet Farm. Okay, what are we going to Fleet Farm for? He said, well, I'm tired of hearing you preach grease is cheaper than steel. So I'm taking a grease gun with me out on the road. I said, well, I'm just trying to save you money in the long run. You know, because his older brother had him believing it was okay to just grease it when you change the oil every 10, 15,000 miles. No, get under your equipment. Look at your equipment every day.
I'll tell you this.
Every time you stop, get out, walk around it, smack your tires.
I'm not, and here's where I'm going to go with that. And the reason, and it's not just you guys, it's the professionals that own companies that have professional drivers that work for them and stuff like that. You know, somebody said down here, Michael said, a lot of guys rather make excuses than step up. Right. But what I was going to touch on is Brandon McDaniel from Scott's Heavy Haul. You guys all know Brandon. You've seen him on the show.
Yep.
His drivers, they're out there. If they're not, you know, after work, sitting on the yard, cracking beer, greasing the trucks, checking out the trucks. But it happens like every Saturday. They're out there every Saturday. It's like a ritual for them. They go out there every Saturday. They bring the kids out there. They barbecue. They do it. They do it right out on this little yard out here. And I can't wait to go out there. I can't wait for you guys all to meet. Because you guys all have one thing in common. You take care of your drivers and you run it like professionals. You know, and that's what I miss. And
you don't, when you got a big company like the mega carriers and stuff, all those guys got to do is they see something wrong and they pull into the next service center that they have, which they have all over the country, and they park their truck and go inside and take a shower and do whatever they got to do, and they come back out and their truck is fixed and they're gone. You know, it's a lot different for them. They can go anywhere they want and get stuff fixed. You know, but when you're small, you know, you got to get yourself to a garage where you can work on your own truck, you know, and it's a lot different.
I'll say this every time I talk to you, shop.
What's that?
Every time I talk to you, you're in a shop.
Right.
Yeah,
Where I park, that guy is, well, this August he'll be 69 years old. He's been doing this since 1973. I drove for him as a company driver for 5 years one time. Everybody didn't know how I could get along with this man. Do as he tells you to do. Well, when I get home, we both walk around that truck and trailer together. People go, doesn't that bother you? No, it doesn't. 2 sets of eyes are better than one. He might catch something that I missed. We never had a violation on the road. Never had no breakdowns on the road except like a catastrophic if a turbo failed. That's the only time that we had a major out on the road. Get out, walk around. Every time you stop, it don't take long to get out, walk around, look at that equipment.
What do you think? What do you think the number one things that drivers today's driver lacks in their career that they don't do that they don't do on a regular basis that people did back in the day, or the way you were raised? What's the one thing that you do that other people don't do? You see what I'm saying? You know, like for one, it's pre-tripping for me.
I don't know.
Pre-tripping and looking at their equipment.
What's that, John?
Pre-tripping and looking at their pre-trips, looking at their equipment. Hey, how many times Rob sees it daily? You go to a fuel island, the guy just leaves the truck run, he dumps fuel in it, pulls up, goes in, grabs his McDonald's while he blocks the fuel island for 30 minutes and then takes off. 9 times out of 10, them guys don't even shut them off to even check the oil. Time and time again, my Peterbilt dealer at home, they'll get a driver that'll call and say, I've got a problem. Which motor do you have in your truck? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say, how many times do you park at night? Maybe you might be there for a little while, and you see some guy pull in the parking spot across from you and climb in his bunk, leave his headlights on and everything, and then at 6 o'clock in the morning, you see him crawl out of the bunk, get in the driver's seat, and drive away, and didn't even get out of his truck.
Nope, never got out of his truck.
Look, and this is why I brought it up, is because me doing what I do out of the truck stuff all the time. I mean, I noticed it, drive truck, I wake up, get out, I go get my coffee, come back, crack my hood, before I left, whatever. I always had a routine. But now that I do this, I sit in the parking lot and I'll be on the phone. I'm there at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. These drivers just jump up out of bed. Thump, 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 thump. Hey, bro, you got like 3 flats on that thing.
Or they're dragging their wheels off. They didn't even wait for their trailer to air up.
Right. No, their trailer got flat spots throughout. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely.
I mean, I'll tell you the other thing.
They dump their piss bottles.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's just. I hate. I'll say something to somebody. No, I'll say it's just like with the fuel on. You're gonna hold my fuel on. I'm saying something. We all know me.
That's the other thing that drives me nuts. Most of these guys do their best driving in the parking lot. I roll into a parking lot. I take it easy through there. I ease my way around. These guys that are running 30 and 40 miles an hour in the parking lot, when you go to get out of your truck to go walk in to go to the bathroom or go in to get something to eat, man, you're taking your own life in your hands.
Yeah. How about
you better be able to run like Wile E. fucking Coyote.
Try filming. Try filming out there. Try making it. Yeah, try. Ask this guy what I do.
We just counted gears today. This guy came around the corner in 8th gear already. But I think he was doing 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You heard him hit the G shift in the high gear.
Yeah, you heard him flipping.
By the time he got to us,
I was like, "There's 8."
I can't tell you how many times I get gone around in a truck stop parking lot because I'm just easing around. They'll be right behind me, and then all of a sudden they'll dart out on the left, and they're doing. By the time they get up to the nose of that Peterbilt, they're doing 40, like Rob says. They're in too much of a hurry, and then they pull in the spot. They can't even get it straight in the spot. They just pull it up there, leave it half-ass cockeyed. And I mean, I only got one good eye to start with. I'm about as crooked-eyed as you can fucking get. And
I have a waiver for that.
I don't need a waiver for that. I see more shit with that crooked eye than you see with both your straight eyes, fucker.
There it is. Look, I'm glad we're testing this. I'm glad because this is going to be a lot of fun, actually. Believe it or not, now that we see once you're comfortable, it's going to be good, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be once I learn this equipment, right? We'll have a lot more. We'll have 5 people. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be terrible. Oh my God! But Leland Schmidt said had 3 inspections last year, passed all. Great idea. I don't. Yeah, that is a great idea, Robin.
I'm going to step away for a minute.
Go ahead, John.
Smoke in the house. I'm going to go out and smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back.
Well, no, we're going to close it out. All
right. Okay.
We're going to close it out. But Leland Smith said that's a great idea, and I believe Leland's referring to your idea with the inspections. I think that's pretty cool, actually. If you're willing to put up the money for them to pass it, and they get the bonus, they should be willing to put on the line that, hey, if I fail, that's on me as a driver. And people that I don't understand why that. I've never heard of that. That's really cool.
We've been lucky though. I mean, we've had 15 inspections and we've only had 1 bad one out of 15. So, and that guy doesn't work for me anymore.
John, how do you like running a company in today's industry?
I'll be honest with you. I dropped back down. I used to have 9 trucks at one time. I dropped back down to 2. And stayed at 2 for the longest time. And then I added an owner-operator as a favor to a customer of mine. And I enjoy it. But I'm like Rob. I'm selective in who I hire. And there's standards here. You can't just do what you want. You got to follow certain rules. You got to represent a certain way. If they don't want to do that, they don't need to work for me. I always tell my guys, you walk them and stand them in front of a mirror. Say, see that guy in the mirror? They go, yeah, that's the only person that can get you fired from here. Guys that are with me, they work with me, not for me. We work all together. It's everybody's livelihood, not just one guy's livelihood. Most days I enjoy it. I ain't gonna lie. There's some days I go, why am I doing this? Sometimes the most intelligent conversation I'm gonna have that day might be with my dog. They fall and bump their heads some days and they're stupid.
I always tell my wife the only conversation that I have all day is usually with the clerk at the truck stop or something. And now they put kiosks in most of the places, so you don't even have to talk to her.
That's a lie. What these boys do on their spare time is not okay.
No, we don't want to talk about that.
No, we don't. We cannot talk about that. But they have a lot of fun. And I'm going to bring some of it to the surface. We're going to clean some of it up and we're going to bring it up. All I know is there was 500 trucks and 20 loads in Las Vegas the other day.
That's right.
500 empty trucks and 20 loads available. I was like, oh my God.
I'll bet you that shit went out of there so cheap, they didn't even get enough for a shower out of it.
God, you wouldn't believe it. Today they were going off the board so fast that it would get posted, and 10 seconds later, if you called them, it was gone already. It was canceled.
Wow.
Or I don't know if it was ghost posting or what it was, but they were going off the board within 10 seconds.
Well, we're gonna get into all that. Look, Rob, I'm excited that you're here. We'll do some. We're gonna have some fun, but I'm actually gonna head to Sisters.
We're gonna go down there. Yeah,
I got a reason to go to
Sisters, Rob. Over to Cali.
Yeah, and I believe Gary Jones is on his way here. He's probably close. Him, Devry, and I want to say they had another driver with him. Is it Scott? Does he have I don't know. He had somebody else. I think there's a couple drivers there. But John, we're gonna let you go smoke your cancer stick and enjoy yourself. John, I want to tell you thank you for being willing and wanting to be part of this and to work with me and all of you, both of you, because I know you guys know each other, and getting to know you guys has been a good time. John, and I look forward to working with you.
Oh, hey, it's my pleasure, guys. It's my pleasure.
And one thing this industry needs is drivers to speak, professionals to speak up, and speak up on and owners of companies that are carriers that use like load boards, which we'll get into later. We're not going to get into this episode, but we got a lot to get into at trucking. But I think it's important, and I know you agree with me and agree because that's why you're being part of it. That we put something together that is actually educational, informative, and helps the drivers coming into the industry and gives other drivers hopes within the industry to get to a company like yours and like Rob's.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I'm more than happy to do it. I'm enjoying it. And I mean, I always wonder what you're going to come up with next when you're talking to me. So, you're kind of like my comic relief some days.
Me? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you, Wayne.
I love these guys. I really do. They
I mean, don't correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but I think Wayne here is kind of like a Phil Jr. in training.
Oh no.
We'll have him making calls.
Oh no.
Yes.
I don't got a plan. I'm gonna write them, direct them, and produce them.
And wash my hands. That
dinosaur bone. The dinosaur bone. You have to cut out the top of your trailer. Don't worry, we'll fix it.
Leland's on here. He does oversize. He could haul the dinosaur bone for us.
Yeah, hey Leland, you need a load? We got a special load, big dinosaur bone. Hey, look. Anyways, guys, everybody knows Rob Hallahan. We got a podcast. We're all getting together. We're all going to do a podcast together. We got other drivers coming aboard. I'm going to let everybody go. We've been on here over an hour, and it was just almost, it's like a little test run, and just to get a little feel for this. Thank you, John. Thank you, Rob, and we'll talk to you soon, John.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
For drivers of the heartbeat of America, you should be treated like the heartbeat of America, and always keep your shiny side up, rubber side down, and make money in the truck industry. Well,
keep the left door shut.
That's right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.